So what is your favorite part about being black?
Oh.
Oh, lordy.
Or what's one of your favorite things, or one of the many things? There's so many things.
No, there are. So it's an interesting question, but I mean, things that I do love. I love our color. I love, the different hues that we come in as black people, and our hair. I love just experiencing all the different textures and everything else like that. So I love seeing all the difference, and I haven't seen another race that has so many, different looks and varieties in it. So I just love the rainbow of hues and textures and everything else that we come in. So I love our melanin. I'm sorry, I do. I love being able to change different colors and, having different undertones and our reds and our oranges and our yellows underneath, our brown skin and stuff. So I just think we're just a powerful race, and although we're struggling a lot as a race, when we get it together, it's gonna be amazing. And so
What I see in the mirror every day is a black child. I just see, when I look in the mirror, I just see a black young lady, and I feel strong when I look at myself.
Why do you feel strong?
Well, because I'm still learning about some of the black American heroes. So I don't know most. I don't know all of them, but I know some of them. And they are fighting for freedom and to stop slavery, so everybody can be equal and free, and not a slave or under segregation.
Growing up in Jamaica, it wasn't really that much difference with black people and Indian people and Asian people. We just all identified as Jamaican people. There might be some people that favor light-skinned people, people that dislike dark-skinned people, but it wasn't as heavy compared to America. When I came from Jamaica to America, one thing that I noticed that I didn't notice in Jamaica was slavery. We talked about it. It happened all over the Caribbean, but in America, they focused a lot on slavery. And honestly, I feel going to American school in elementary school, I feel learning about slavery actually made me internalize racism. I remember a point in elementary school when most of the kids just did not like white people. Mainly because growing up around the area that I grew up in, there wasn't as many white people. There was no white and black interactions. Honestly, I never had a white and black interaction until I came into the city. When we learned about slavery, you would hear people, would see videos of white people oppressing black people, and looking at the videos, you just automatically think, oh, all white people are bad. So, yeah.
So it all happened back, when you're a child and you're sitting down watching TV in your living room. And then, you're changing through the channels, and all you realize is you see white children acting. And then, I guess that's when I started assuming, I was like, oh, are only white children actors? And you rarely see a black child, black adults. I remember the show Zack and Cody. There was this black man named Mosby. And I was like, how does that man feel around these other racial groups? So I guess that's when I first realized. And then another interaction is when I realized how statistics were applied to education, where saying that black people have a lower chance of going to college and becoming successful with themselves. And I was wondering, why is that? Well, I never made that be a determined factor of why I should not go to college. So yeah.
So tell me about your experience being black at a historically black college.
My experience is good. It's one of a kind. I think everybody should go through the experience of going to HBCU while being black, especially in these times during the Trump world and order. And I think, why not? You're black, you're beautiful. Why not go to HBCU? It's no struggles. I mean, but every HBCU has its struggles. It's nothing about your colors, how about where you are. You know, the food sucks. You know, it's always financial problems. It's just a lot of order that needs to be established in HBCUs, but no problems with being black in HBCU, for sure.
In the 70s, I grew up in Illinois, and the college that I attended, the University of Illinois, and at the time that I attended, they were mandated to accept a certain number of minorities if they wanted to keep their funding. So the thing is that I was first generation of college graduate in my family and excited about going, and I remember applying and didn't get accepted. But when I found out about the program, I had the grades, but when I found out about the program, it was called Project 500, and they had to accept at least 500 minorities every year for the number of years for that grant. Then I got accepted, and I remember thinking, well, I was grateful because I got to go to a top 10 school, but I still was concerned that why didn't they accept me before I had the grades and the criteria, and was it because of my race? So attending the school that first year was real challenging. Went with some friends that I had actually been friends with since the 7th grade, so it helped. But it was so much racism going on, and then the other blacks who attended there prepared us. They said professors are going to tell you that they don't give you a grade higher than a B or a C, or even if you get A work. And I was like, that can't be right.
Okay, so early I walked in and my hair was bright red, which I loved for the short period of time that I actually had it in my head, which was 2 weeks, I think. But I am in medical sales device, so it's a corporate industry, and I decided to tone it down because I would love for them. It's already a challenge for me being black and walking in and trying to present products and getting their attention. I just didn't want my hair to deter away from my knowledge and my ability to be professional.
It was in my professional career. I worked for Honeywell for quite a few years, and then I worked for AT&T. I left Honeywell to try to start a business, and couldn't quite make it. Anyway, I started working for AT&T, and I was the top salesman in the whole Southeast United States. Not just top black salesman, I was the top salesman, and I never got any benefit from that. It affects you. It affects you. You're doing all that you can do and all that you're supposed to do. And for some reason, it just never works. Not for some reason, but because of racism and all that other stuff. It doesn't work out for you. And it leaves you very frustrated.
At one chapter in my life, in my early years, I transitioned from working in television, and I moved to Jacksonville, Florida for a short period of time. And I was looking for a job, and I went into the Life Center down in Jacksonville, and I walked into a radio station, and I asked the man for a job, and he says, I'm gonna give you a job because you're the first Negro that's ever walked in here and asked for a job. And I got a year's contract with them.